Okay. Welcome everyone to episode 9 of Our Parents' Basement. Very nice. This is a podcast in which tonight, 3 random dudes get together, throw back a couple of cold ones, and discuss the great world of video games and movies and music and anime and manga and anything else in between. Now, last week, on our 8th episode, you got to watch as all the panelists try to convince me to give Star Wars more of a fair chance. And if you missed it, no worries. You can check out our channel at our website at ourparentsbasement.com to see that and other previous episodes. Check out our YouTube channel. You can listen to the thing on iTunes or Stitcher, or I think there's one more. Am I missing
Google
one?
Play.
Google Play. Thank you very much. So tonight we have something a little bit different for you all, and I think you'll enjoy it. But before we get to that, I think it's time we introduce ourselves. So let's get this show on the road. I'm Cashel, and my birthday is soon, so be sure to pop some champagne in my honor. And with me this evening, we have everyone's favorite tall drink of water. That, of course, is Turf. He is here.
What's going on, world?
Thumbs up, I love it. And we also have Zach Zima. Zach Z. Zima? Zach Z, whatever.
Ugh. Never mention that stuff.
So you do know what it is. Okay, good. Well, as you
had it? Know what it is? I'm never gonna have it.
so you have had it or have not had it?
I have not had it.
Okay, I never had it either, but
I know
mean,
best to stay away from certain things.
I heard actually if you put a
boys
Jolly
have to
Rancher in it,
right.
it's actually pretty good. But
Yeah, but you could do that with regular vodka also.
yeah. So anyway, glad to have you as well. We're missing one. He may show up later. We'll see. So let's get this show on the road. You're probably wondering why I decided to talk about libations during the introduction, and that's because for our first segment, we are going to share with us, with us and with you all. I've had a few drinks, America. I'm sorry. We're going to share with you all some of our favorite gaming beverages to partake in, and just get to know each other a bit more. Now, we're all over the age of 21, and from time to time, we enjoy participating in what adults do best, which is drink alcohol. So we wanted to share with you all some of our favorite drinks that make the gaming experience that much more sweet. Some of us have created our own concoctions, and some of us are just, doing it old school with a nice with a couple of cold ones, a nice fresh six-pack, if you will. So let's get this show on the road. I will start. I wanted to share with you all one of my favorite cocktails that I enjoy slurping down when I game. I call it the Casheltini, and here it is. So to make the Casheltini, all you need is a glass. It could be any size. Fill it to about this high, about 1/2 full, with champagne. Obviously, it's not full now because I already had some. So all you need is a glass of champagne, grapefruit juice, a little bit of pineapple juice, throw in some pineapple slices if you feel so inclined, twist a lime, swirl it together, and that's it. These recipes will be available to you on our page. But yeah, that's all it takes. It's super easy and it's super tasty. Just make sure you have a lot of champagne and you're good to go. So, Turk, you got a question?
Yeah, I do have a question. How did you come up with that?
How did I come up with it?
Take on something, or did you just wing it?
No, I just if you put if you put orange juice in with champagne, it's a mimosa, and I thought that's not very creative. So, but I think grapefruit juice is just as good, and I never heard of anyone mixing it with champagne, and pineapple juice adds a sweetness to it. And, twist a lime for a little bit of extra citrus flavor, throw in the pineapple slices, so that way it kind of, gets really soaked in with the liquor, so that's awesome. And, just a little something I created a while ago.
I like it. I'm going to say that I'm going to try that. I will try your delicious citrus concoction.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's one of my favorite libations, which is a total lie. I like a lot of libations, I'm not going to lie. But This is something that's easy to make, and you can use any champagne. You can use the cheap stuff. I won't judge you. It can come from a box. I don't give a crap where your champagne
You
comes
use
from.
champagne in a box?
I think so. I know wine comes in a box.
Yeah, but I think champagne would like rupture the bladder.
Oh. No, I'm speaking to all walks of life. I'm not talking to just the 1%. This is for everyone. So
Oh, I'm
whatever.
not. I'm not too good to say that I haven't had Asti Spumante or
Yeah.
Andre Spumante. Excuse me. That's the
This
good
is for
stuff.
everyone. Yeah, that's the good
On my
stuff.
21st birthday, that's what the if you went to the beverage store, they would give you a bottle of champagne, and it was absolutely the cheapest stuff they could find. It was Andre Spumante, and it was delicious.
Wait, you turned 21, and it said here,
Yeah,
and you went
on
to
your
this
birthday.
bar, and he said, "Here,
No, you
have
went to
this."
the liquor store.
Oh, you went to a liquor store.
You went to the
Okay.
liquor store. Yeah, on your 21st birthday, they'd give you a bottle of champagne.
Wow, that is awesome.
That's college.
You don't get that nowadays.
No. Well, actually, maybe. I was in Memphis a couple years ago for New Year's, and the clock struck midnight, and they were pouring champagne glasses, like for a champagne toast, but they were taking too long, so me and my friends just grabbed bottles each. So we didn't. Okay, so they don't give them away, but they're still accessible. So yeah, we each had our own bottle of champagne. It was so good. That's a fun New Year's, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, you can use any champagne you want to make the Casualtini, and I think it's delicious. So, cheers. God, that's good. So that's my drink I wanted to share with you all. There's other ones that are just as tasty, but um, that's one I just had to share with my OPB castmates and the rest of the world. So let's move on. Why don't we go with Turf? Turf, what are you drinking right now? Or do you have something to share you want to share with us?
Well, tonight I'm not much of a mixed drink kind of guy, cocktail gentleman. I mean, I'm not above having a cranberry and vodka every now or a Cape Cod if you're classy. I'm not above that, but or if you can't carry around one of these delicious whatever. Tonight, I thought I would, instead of bringing one of my favorite concoctions, I would just try a new beer. Um, so tonight it's a local beer. It's from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Day Drinker. It's from Lost 40 Brewing Company. It is, let's see, they're dedicated to crafting beer that captures the nuance and intrigue sought by the mystical 40-acre land in Arkansas, which they derive their name. It's a Belgian style beer, and it's pretty tasty. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna probably explode my stomach trying to drink all these because it's not a light beer at all. It's setting pretty heavy. I got one in me, and it's setting pretty heavy. So, yeah, Day Drinker it is. I enjoy when I'm sitting back playing something stupid to rot my brain.
Yeah.
Having a beer or two or six. There's nothing better. I've got a Play Choice 10. There's nothing better than standing in front of my Play Choice 10 and knocking them back like I'm in college, playing Contra or Mario or Ninja Gaiden or just whatever I'm doing, and I can get lost in an evening. And as an adult, it's okay to have a few beverages. So, man, that's fun. The boys at his grandparents. So Daddy's gonna knock back a few. It's a good time, and it's hard to my fellow castmates will probably get text one day because I'm bad about that if I'm alone. So
Which is not often in
that's
America. Which is not often.
no, it's not often. But yeah, from Little Rock, Arkansas, it's Lost 40 Brewing Day Drinker because that's classy. They got me with the name.
Yeah, I love that name. It reminds me of what I always wanted to do when I grew up, which was day drink. So I like that they have a beer named after that, after my adult aspirations. So
Yeah,
you're a beer guy when you game. Is that what it sounds like? Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah. Well, yeah. I'm a beer guy 99% of the time, unless we might be in Louisville at a convention. Then I might be a vodka guy. But,
Vodka in a water bottle kind of guy. That's funny.
but yeah, I generally kick back with a few cool beers and just enjoy myself and just kind of chill out. Not get crazy. I mean, I'm not beer bonging or butt chugging or anything. I'm not being nuts, but uh, yeah, I said butt chugging.
Yeah, I said,
This
yeah.
feels more butt chugging. I'm not getting college drunk, but I'd like to have a few and just kick back and enjoy myself, just enough to relax and probably not drive anywhere. That's where I like to get, just where you don't want to drive.
Sounds like a good Friday night, if you ask me. Very cool.
Attaboy.
Well, thanks for
Thursday
sharing with
night.
that. And that's only available in Arkansas, though, right? Day drinker.
I don't. This is the first time I've ever seen it. It was I went to the local store, and they had this. I was like, hey, a Little Rock beer, that'd be all right. I know there's a Diamond Bear Brewing Company in Little Rock that I really like. They have a pale ale that's really good, and a Southern Blonde. I don't know what style it is, but that's what they call it, is a Southern Blonde. It's a really good beer. So I thought, we'll try some of these other local beers that are popping up, the craft beers coming out of Arkansas, because there's a lot of, and kind of sounding beer snobby. There's all these craft beers popping up, but there's a lot coming out of Arkansas that are really, really good beers, and I'm hoping they kind of get a following in other places. But I know, like I said, we have Diamond Bear, we have Lost 40. Apparently, I'll try some more of their stuff. There's a Core out of Springdale, Arkansas, that makes a really good Arkansas Red's, what they call it. It's like an Irish style red beer,
Mhm.
like you think Killian's, kind of
Yeah.
like that, except better. So yeah, it's man, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the local beer scene here in Arkansas.
Well, and you're one down, 5 to go. Keep
That's
this
right.
momentum going. Oh, wait. Now he's one down. Sweet. Don't stop. What? Yeah. Pop that open. Pop it like it's hot. Sweet.
Right.
Well, while you enjoyed the first sip, let's move on. Zach Z, what are you drinking right now?
Right now, just cherry Pepsi.
Well, you're no fun.
He's a wild
But what do
man,
you?
ladies and gentlemen.
But I mean, kind of like Turf, I'm very simple with my stuff. I I like a good Yingling when I game. And if I want something a little more expensive, Angry Orchard or Blue Moon, those tend to be my favorites.
Mhm.
I don't really go for
Blue Moon is underrated.
Yeah,
People, it got kind of a bad name because people put fruit in it, which I like it with an orange in it. Y'all can
Yeah.
Honestly, it actually
call me as
tastes-
fruity as you want. It's really good, and it's good. It's good beer. It's tasty, and anybody can enjoy it. Even if you're not a beer person, you'll like Blue Moon
yeah,
or
and where, I
Shock
mean,
Top.
the citrus adds to the flavor.
That's right. It's brewed with orange peel and coriander. So people
Oh,
need to know
look at
stuff
you.
like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Impressive.
But yeah, I
and
mean,
Yingling,
right?
Go
You
ahead.
want to?
Yingling's underrated too, and we can't get it west of the Mississippi River. There's nowhere west of the Mississippi River that has Yingling. So when I go to Memphis, I do tend to buy a case.
Nice. Yeah, they come in cases now, which is great for us alcoholics. Zach, was Yingling always available in New Jersey?
As long as I've been drinking.
Okay, which is 1 year because you just turned 21, right?
No, 25.
25. Oh, you're 20. Oh, I thought you were. I was giving you a compliment. You look so young. I asked that because in where I'm from in Ohio, it was not allowed in that state for some reason, but it was allowed in Pennsylvania. So whenever we went to Pittsburgh,
Well, it's from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. That's why.
that's why it's not that's why it wasn't available in Ohio.
In
No, why it
Pittsburgh,
was available in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying like that was the closest route we could pick to get it was for us was Pittsburgh. So, or well, anywhere in Pennsylvania really. But yeah, so I was wondering if it was always available in Jersey, and you said as long as you can remember.
Yeah. And if I do want like a mixed drink, I'm, like I said, very simple, just a Jack and Coke, or what's known as Angry Balls, which is
Which is
one shot of Fireball and an Angry Orchard.
that sounds kind of good.
Yeah.
that probably would be pretty good. That'd be like I don't kind of like a Boilermaker, except for apple cinnamony.
Yeah, where I'm actually on the Fireball web page right now, and they got some pretty interesting stuff on here.
Mm.
That stuff's deadly.
You're making me thirsty just thinking
Oh
about it.
yeah, I mean I cannot drink that shit straight up.
Fireball goes down like candy. It's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you know, your underwear on your head. It's a bad idea.
Sounds like
I
fun.
mean they got one here called an Angry Badger, which is fireball whiskey and honey whiskey.
That also sounds good.
Yeah.
Really, anything is good except for, I don't know, I don't like that really cheap beer like Natty Light or Keystone Light. Ugh, I can't stand that stuff.
You know what? I can't even stand Budweiser or Miller.
I don't think I've ever had Miller, honestly.
Oh, I
Really?
had it when I was down in AC for a Christmas party, and where we did a whole round of beer pong, and where by the end of it, I was feeling like complete crap,
Ugh.
and where I wasn't even doing a majority of the drinking for my team, and just because I was starting to not feel that great about, just not feeling that great in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah,
remember, America, cheap beer, not good. Mm-mm.
and you don't want the Bud Mud.
He's
that's real.
Yeah.
well, you're not drinking one now. You just had a cherry Pepsi, which is fine, but at least you got to share with us what your favorite adult beverages for gaming.
There could have possibly been some Jack Daniels in there. You never know.
Well, we can only hope. So why don't we move on to the last drop? Why don't we move on then to? Oh, yeah, I guess there was Jack in there. Take it like a man, Zach. I know you can do it.
When you learn how to do that, you're gonna like it.
Exactly.
No, there's just a breath of air in that. So
But yeah, so this is kind of a transition. Sometimes when we're gaming, we witness certain events or cinematic scenes or movies or just something like, I don't know, just something bizarre that makes us go, what the blip, what the F, what the
come on,
fudge, what the fig,
this
double
is already going to
fig.
be 18 plus. So just say it already.
Okay, so they'll make us say, what the fuck?
There we go.
And I feel so dirty swearing. But
Get over you, pussy.
and sometimes, these what the fuck moments make us go towards a drink or two. So I thought it'd be fun for us to share with one another some of our favorite WTF moments in our gaming lives. So why don't we get this show on the road as well? So let's see. We ended with Zach. So Zach, why don't you start with this segment? What is a what the fuck moment in a game you've played?
Oh boy. You know what? Just saying it right now. Spoilers. Just straight up spoilers. The game No More Heroes. Dur- During the rank 1 boss fight, you get this guy, he's all set up like a Darth Vader looking guy. And where he says that he is Travis Touchdown's father. Which, if any more Star Wars references, there you go. But
That's so last episode ago.
yeah, he's telling you to remember who killed him, all this stuff, and where he's like, Travis goes like, I remember now, and where all of a sudden you just see blood come the out of the guy. I believe they called him Darkseid in it actually, but
Blood was squirting out of his penis.
Ooh,
quite
well, they
possibly,
make a pill for that.
quite possibly, yeah. But yeah, he falls down, and where then you get this girl just standing behind him, and we're saying, I can't believe you would fall for that, all that stuff, and where it's the person who killed his parents. He then starts to remember that whole night that he met I don't know what to call her, a heroine in the game.
Not heroin, but like a.
Yeah,
Okay,
Female hero.
gotcha.
though not really because she kind of just sets the things in motion. But she, it, wow. Why am I blanking right now?
Get it together. I know you can do it.
But yeah, she
Because
goes.
that moment.
Yeah, it's those moments.
Yeah, no, she's saying that she can't believe that he fell for all that, that he might have been his father, but it all comes back to him. He starts saying that he remembers, and where I forget how they went to it, but she was like, "You wouldn't be able to know my story. It would take too long for for me to explain it." He's like, "Fine, I'll fast forward through it so we can get this over with." And they didn't make a No More Heroes didn't make a reference to Duke Nukem Forever with that, because she said it was, "You don't want this to be No More Heroes Forever, do you?"
That's clever.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden it just speeds up, and where you just see his reaction is just going.
For
Well,
those who are
it's just
listening in
fucking,
audio only, Zach was doing some acting for us.
and where you just hear her just talking the whole very fast forward chipmunk,
Yeah.
and then it's like, and that's my story. And where you slow down the audio for that, it is one of the most fucked up stories you'll ever hear. Because, I mean, it involves her father leaving her mother to go with Travis's mother, and where apparently he did some nasty things to her when she was a kid, all that stuff. So, and where she used her body to pay for everything. It really does get screwed up if you
She's a
actually
whore.
listen to it. So then you go beat her, actually kill her, end her misery, and where then it goes to either a false ending or a true ending, where you get saved by who reveals right afterwards is your half brother who you met earlier, and where it's honestly that last fight is pretty amazing. But yeah, that's as far as I'll go with it.
It doesn't sound like a what the fuck moment. It sounds more like a WTF game. Like the whole game sounds like that.
Yeah,
And
pretty
that's when
much.
shit got weird.
If if you want to know why, just look up Destroy Man. He's got the whole pelvic thrust beam.
I'm not sure what that means,
Pelvic
but I will
thrust beam?
look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's.
That's what I call Saturday night. Hey!
Hey, if you're that quick.
Oh my goodness. Anything more about No More Heroes?
Just honestly, altogether, just very solid game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like grotesque humor, lots of blood, you'll like this game. Minimum motion controls on the Wii.
Ah, good. That's good to hear. I hate
Yeah.
the
Pretty
waggle wand.
pretty much all you do is just swipe in whatever direction it tells you to just do an execution move.
Okay. Cool.
Otherwise, you're pressing A to attack.
Neato. Well, I think then, Turf. Well, first off, which beer are you on?
I'm on number 3,
Very good. Um,
so
so
we're right
what?
on pace.
Yeah, very good. Keep this momentum going. What is what the fuck moment that you can think of?
The biggest shocker, I guess that I've had. Well, I've got 2, but I'm gonna go with the biggest one first. If we have time, we might come around to the other one.
Okay.
We're gonna go way back to 1987 with this one. Whenever I was a kid, I'm sitting there playing Metroid for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Cruising through the game, and I'm lying, I didn't beat it when I was little, so I was cruising through the game, and then I finished it, put in the code, and went to the end. You find out that Samus is a chick. This has never happened in a game before. Like, it's always been Mario when you're in another castle and the damsel in distress, the lady's always the one you're saving. Samus, or Metroid, which everybody thought was the character's name, Metroid was a chick. Wow.
Kind of like how everybody thought you played
Pow!
as Zelda.
Yeah, I mean, that was really the first time that I remember that you really had a big twist at the end of a game.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hinting to any kind of anything in that game. You just automatically, 8-year-old me is just assuming that or whatever, yeah, 6, 8, whatever year old I was playing that game,
Yeah.
you would just assume that it's a dude because that's what all games are. You're the dude. All movies are all like that. All cartoons, all everything is a dude saving the day because a chick's in trouble. Samus is a girl. Wow.
And she
And
saved the day.
she saved the day. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean she was not in trouble at all. She's a badass bounty hunter that's out to stop the space pirates, and it's a chick in a suit. It was a big, I say, WTF moment because who saw that coming? If
Yeah.
if you're my age or older and you played that for the first time, you didn't see it in a magazine or anything else, and you're just sitting there playing it, and you didn't know somebody's named Justin Bailey. And anyways, you play in the game, and like she takes her helmet off at the end, and wow, that's huge. That's big.
And
That's
then
not
later
something
you
that
find
anybody
out that if you beat
can
the game faster, she comes out in a bikini.
Yeah, that's that Justin Bailey code I was talking about.
No,
You can.
that,
Oh
I
yeah, I
mean
forgot
if
to
you
say
beat it
spoiler
fast.
alert. So if you didn't if you're mad at me for the spoiler for the original Metroid game,
Sorry about it.
so it's been 30 years. You've had time.
If you're audio only, he just gave you the finger. So if you're offended, oh well, too bad. Very nice.
All right, man. Cashel, tell us your big WTF moment that happened to you. It's going to be some weird Japanese something, I'm sure.
It is. Well, Samus is
That's weirder than
Japanese.
anything I could have thought of.
I mean, Samus came from Japan too. So, mine's not as good though. But okay, so this is more of a contemporary title on the 3DS, and I finished it maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. This is called Stella Glow for Nintendo 3DS. It's a strategy game. It's part strategy game, a little bit of harem RPG to it, a lot of fierce anime chicks as well. And so it starts off pretty innocuous. You're a boy chosen to save the world and find the 5 witches who harness elemental power. Turf is on beer number 4, though, for those who are listening. 4? Or beer number 4, right? All right,
Yeah.
good. And things are pretty humdrum. They're fun. It's fun, but it's really just it's standard RPG fare. However, by the time you get to, I think it was the 6th or 7th chapter, one of your characters, I'm not going to say who, turns on you and does this incantation that makes the whole world basically turn upside down. Demonic angels are falling from the sky, massacring everyone. Everyone, like all the non-playable characters, end up slaughtered. The town ends up in every town ends up in shambles. There are kids crying, "Oh my God, mommy, get up! Why won't you open your eyes?" There's fire, there's explosions, and when you look at this cover, it doesn't look like that to have this sort of thing, but it does. So I'm playing this, this stuff happens, and I'm like, what the fuck? What? No, this can't be happening. Oh my God, this is crazy. So yeah, shit gets real, and it happens when you least expect it. And not only that, the character who turns on you, I did not see coming, like at all. I mean, you know, sure, there's always like these little subtle hints that maybe I should have paid more attention to, but I didn't. So yeah, that was quite the what the fuck moment for me with that game. It just got really violent really quickly.
And I mean, I guess you get a lot of these story-driven games. You'll
Mhm.
have more of that. Now, me being a guy that's just not into, I don't play a whole lot of story, like really deep games, because
Yeah.
well, that's just I have a short attention span, so I don't run into that as often. But man, I imagine you do in the RPGs that you play. You get really engrossed in the story, you get invested in the characters, and then somebody turns on you or something like that.
Hmm.
That's got to be when you get a little bit emotionally involved, whether you mean to or not, and it's like they betrayed you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I mean
It kind
that's
of.
good story writing. If you get that involved and you're like legitimately offended, that's really good story writing. So yeah, that probably happens more to you than it would me, but that's cool.
Yeah, and I was like, first off, I was pissed because I liked using him in my party. I'm like, well, there goes that character. I can't use him
Oh, well,
anymore.
now we know it's a male.
And well, I mean, look at the cover. A lot of them look pretty androgynous, so haha. But so there's that, and of course there's the fact that like Turf said, I kind of got invested in the relationships he was building with all the other characters. But really, the main thing is that just the way the story just pans out after that, like it just gets so damn dark so quickly. When I thought this was like this lighthearted, yay, rainbows and sunshine and unicorns and lollipops strategy game, it just does a 180. Really, really cut me to the quick right there. So, yep, that's yeah, and you're right. I do see that a little bit more than just a standard action game, but this one really just surprised me. It really caught me off guard. So, well, Zach, do you have another one to share with us?
You're talking about the whole character betraying. It just reminded me of Xenoblade Chronicles
Okay.
because, well, what's in like the first hour, who not giving away any too many spoilers. The person who you thought was going to be like the love interest throughout the whole game dies, and
Aw.
where later the father figure betrays.
Use any more good news?
Well, I mean certain things, but I'm not going to get into spoiler territory because that would be pretty for a game this big. That, as much as that takes place, it it still would take up a good chunk of the game. So
So that was like we just kind of reminded you of a what the fuck moment. But
yeah,
okay, gotcha. Do you have another one you had ready for tonight?
um, I kind of just got like a what the fuck game in general, which is Oculus Strip.
Okay.
It,
yes, you do.
yeah, I can tell that you probably played it before,
I have it for the Vita, so yeah.
but yeah, it's pretty much like a 3D beat 'em up game where you defeat people by undressing them, and that's because certain people are vampires, and you gotta expose their skin to the sun.
And what better way than to strip them naked?
Yep.
Male and female vampires, equal opportunity.
Yeah, and you're
Equal opportunity bloodsuckers.
Yes, and strippers. Good choice. That's a good one.
yeah, I mean you're in Japan's popular anime and game district. You're pretty much like the the main protagonist of it who got put up into these experiments where the girl saves you and where then you get a potential love interest in between like five, six, seven girls. What was it?
uh, well, the sister doesn't count, so I think there's four.
And you know what? It's actually got a pretty good dub. I'll say that. I actually I actually like the little sister in it, and that's rare for me to say for those types of games.
Cool.
'Cause it, I just liked how she would always come up with like the different ways to say her brother, protagonist, and all that stuff. It's actually a very fun game when you get down to it.
Yeah, I haven't tried it on obviously on the PS4. The Vita one has some loading issues, so
Yeah. A lot of the issues I saw people complain about this game, I did not see with this. So who knows?
yep. Alrighty. Well, Turf, do you have another one for us?
I do have another one.
Alrighty, let's hear
I
it.
was really racking my brain trying to think of something for this that would, maybe probably not top the Metroid one because that was big, or big for me anyhow. But the first time I played Metal Gear Solid, when you fight Psycho Mantis, the
Ah,
dude with the gas mask, and he's like floating. he looks at your saves on the card. He's like, "Oh, I see you like Castlevania." What? Or he says, "Oh, you're very." He looks at like how many times or how often you save, and says, "Oh, you're very careful." Like, yeah, I am. Why do you know that? And then he can like read your controller ports and things like that. So you had to. I don't know. I was trying to remember how I figured, or somebody told me is how I figured out how to do it, but I couldn't remember if there was a point in the game or some kind of clue that tells you have to plug your controller into port 2 so he can't read your mind.
Yeah, there's
But
one of
somehow
those
I remember.
auxiliary calls in it that tells you to put it into.
Is that what it is?
I do believe so.
Okay. The reason I knew how is because one of my buddies told me how to do it. He's like, no, you gotta, because I couldn't figure it out. I had
Yeah.
no idea. But I plugged it in port 2, and you can fight him. But man, he's looking at the memory card and seeing that, like, you played this or you played these other Konami games. Whoa, wow.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
never. Of course, I don't think if there's another game that's done something like that. But I mean, I'm sure there is, but that I know of, especially that was that big.
Yeah.
That blew my mind when I was a teenager. I was like, why does he know that I'm careful? Because I'm very careful, and I save a lot. But that was really cool. I thought that was a really good touch in that game. That it kind of broke the fourth wall a little bit, and it was fun. It was a really big, kind of a mind blowing moment.
That is, that's another good one. I never saw that. I played Metal Gear Solid. I didn't get very far in it because I was playing it at a friend's house. But I just heard like all the folklore surrounding him reading your memory card. But was it just Konami games he would read? Like I see, like Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. Was there anything else?
I can't see. I didn't own a PlayStation. I was borrowing a buddy's PlayStation just to
Yeah.
play Metal Gear Solid because he told me how awesome it was. So I don't.
Yeah, and I've
I
never
don't
been
really.
a Metal Gear
I don't
fan,
know.
so I just know about it, and whenever I see it, it's Konami-based games, so that's what I'm going off of.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, it mentioned something about Castlevania, and it mentioned it. It did tell me that I was careful, and
Yeah.
of course I had to later on. I've looked up and saw that was because I saved a lot, and I saved different files. There was a bunch of different files on there because I was afraid one would get overwritten. Or, anyways, he told me I was very careful, and he's like, why do you know that? Why, Mantis? Are you
Get out of
reading
my
my
head.
mind? But that was really cool. And that was a really really cool touch in that game that I don't know if a moment like that will ever be replicated because that was creative.
Yeah. I like when they do something just off the wall like that, and that's kind of what this is all about. Those crazy WTF moments that, whew, that took a lot out of me. I need a drink, that sort of thing. Of course, you didn't drink when you were a teenager, Turf. I mean, that would be against the law. So,
Right, that would be illegal. I would not do that.
yeah, good for you. And I think Zach Z he's flicking something in camera. You think he wants to share something with us?
I got one more game to talk about that had like a huge what the fuck moment to me, and that's Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones. Because in the first part, you're as the princess trying to find her brother and stuff, and where you get an extra chapter where you're playing as her, or you're commanding her brother and his units, and where you go beat the chapter, and where your most powerful unit in that is the paladin at that point, and where all of a sudden the paladin turns on you. That is the first time ever in a game that I ever saw the character just turn on you, go to the other side of the war, especially in one of these tactical RPGs.
Hmm.
So seeing that just was like, wait, what? No, can't go there. No, what are you doing?
I know your pain. Sounds just like what happened with Stella Glow.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing that for the first time and knowing that I could do nothing about it because the chapter had already ended.
Yeah, I know when you play an RPG, there's always a good chance that a character may or may not turn on you. I just hate when it's a character that you enjoy and one that causes some real bad stuff to happen as a result. So, well, either of you two have any more WTF moments to share? No? Alrighty. Well,
Keep going.
Want to keep going then? Let's do it. Because I need to transition to a segment that we did a few episodes back. And this is a segment in which we try to not only convince our audience of, I'm not even sure if anyone's watching right now, but we also try to convince the castmates of a game that we try to convince them of a game that they should try. This is a segment we're going to call Hear Me Out. And this was something that Turf created a while ago, and I'm excited to get the chance to do it with everyone again. The segment, that is. So, let's get this started, shall we? I can start real quick, because mine isn't too long. So, I'm going to try to convince, Zach Z and Turf to try this game right here for the PlayStation 1. It's called The Grand Stream Saga. And first of all, before you say, oh, PlayStation 1 game, it's like $6 or $7. So there's that. Now, the premise of Grand Stream Saga is kind of cliche. There's 4 elemental crystals that you have to recover. You're a boy with amnesia, and he has a magical item that he has no idea how he got. He has great sword skills, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you've heard it all before. What's really cool about the Grand Stream Saga, besides the fact that it has awesome anime cutscenes that are straight from the late 90s, which is a great time for anime, is the combat system. Instead of, your standard RPG where you're randomly in a battle and you have to wait your turn and attack and stuff like that, these battles actually play out more like a Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. The view changes, you take control of the main character, and you just duke it out one-on-one with the enemy. And you can use magic, you can use special attacks, you can do your down to forward square or axe, whatever it was. It's been a while since I played it. But there's some really fun battles in this. I mean, boss battles are especially fun because, you have to like plan and strategize and block and dodge and all that good stuff. It's if you kind of want to play an RPG but don't want to deal with the RPG length because the battles are so long, I mean, give this a shot. It's inexpensive. Its story is so cliche that it's good, which I know sounds weird, but just go with me on it. And the battles are super fun. I mean, who doesn't want to enjoy a good fighting game every now and again? So this is my recommendation. Guys, any questions on it?
No.
Cool.
Well,
Good.
okay, I can throw like a Street Fighter fireball Hadouken in
he won't say
RPG.
Hadouken, but yeah, you can cast. Yeah, you cast magic. So basically, yeah.
Okay, does it have like magic points like RPG generally does, or can I just spam the fireball?
I'm looking right now. It looks like it does, but I think if memory serves, it recharges over time, so you can like block and dodge and get a few quick hits in, let it recharge, and have at it again. So
that's not. And you said $6 or $7.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cheap.
Play PlayStation 1 games, so
that's
not a horrible idea. I'm not against that at all.
Yeah. I got this copy maybe like 3 years ago. So, I'm sure it's still the same price or so. This is complete. So, yeah, give it a look at some videos. Dip your toe in the water, see what you think. That's my pick. So why don't we continue on then, shall we? Turf, I want you to convince us.
Sure. Let's see. When I was looking for a game, I'm going to go ahead and apologize because I was looking for a game I thought would be inexpensive, but when I looked it up, this is actually like $40.
Oh.
But I thought it was like 20. Power Blade. If you haven't played Power Blade for the NES, you're cheating yourself. You see this gentleman on the front? He has a flat top and he has sunglasses and he is the most 90s or 1990 stereotypical action hero. It's so 90s, it's cheesy.
Love it.
It's great. It was developed by Natsume, so that's a plus.
Hmm.
It was published by Taito, which they made excellent NES games for the most part. There's a few duds in there, but I mean, they made Samson. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Lufia. Yeah.
Uh, let's see. It was released in March of 1991. Uh, yeah, it's a like a mid NES release. There's a sequel that's pretty expensive, but don't worry about it because the first one's actually better. Uh, your main weapon's a boomerang. How it's an action platformer, and you're
Hmm.
throwing a boomerang at people. How cool is that? How often do you get to throw a boomerang at people? So obviously this took place in Australia, because that's the only place somebody would use a boomerang. I don't know if that's true. I completely made it up, and it's moderately racist. Or maybe nationalist. Maybe not a race of people, country.
And Aborigines or something.
Well, maybe. And kangaroos and wallabies, mate.
Yeah,
Um,
shrimp on the barbie. Yeah.
anyways, it takes place in 2191. The colony of New Earth. There's been like all kinds of crazy civil wars, and the world's all in turmoil. The New Earth has a supercomputer that is pretty much runs everything. And an alien has taken over the supercomputer, so you have to go to 6 areas that you can pick Mega Man style. You can pick which one you want to go to first, which is cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you go through the level and you have to find an agent, is what they call it. You got to find like a dude, which is pretty much like finding the key to the boss room.
Hmm.
So you find the agent, and then he gives you the code to get into the boss room, and then you have to fight the boss, and then you get the data tapes, because this was 1990 and they had data tapes running the supercomputer that ran the world. So
Why not?
you fight really creative bosses. The platforming is super tight, I mean, the controls are great. It's just a fun game, man. If you get a chance, emulate a chance to play Power Blade, I'd say go ahead and do it, man. It is a good time. It's fun. It's just enough of that '90s cheese to
Hmm.
give you just that nostalgic throwback feeling. And I just realized that this game is actually older than Zach Z, so yeah, he may not dig it, but it takes me back to when I was a kid and Arnold Schwarzenegger was telling people to get to the chopper, and there was cool stuff like that going on in movies. So it's a super fun, super cheesy game that it's just a blast to play, man. And the action platformer is right up my alley. So
Hmm.
there you go, Power Blade, and that awesome
Oh,
set
look
of
at that
sunglasses.
hair.
It's delicious.
And he's wearing
That's
a.
luscious hair. The guy in the game has a flat top. I don't know what his luscious locks are about, but the guy in the game has a flat top.
And is he wearing a blue tank top? Is that is that his ensemble?
Yeah, it's a blue tank top. What else would he wear? Come on.
I mean, fighting the forces of evil, I'd wear some armor, but not this guy. This guy sounds like a badass.
No. Sleeves just get in the way. When you're that bad, sleeves just hinder you. They
Yeah.
hold back your biceps.
Turf,
Man.
just so you know, that is on my short list of NES games that I want.
Dude, it's worth the $42. I would still say, even being a not budget title, but it's not super expensive either. But I mean, like
Yeah.
upper range of the NES, it's probably, I mean, it's in the upper half.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worth it.
That looks like a lot of fun. I want because as soon as you said Mega Man style level selecting, I went like woohoo! I definitely want to give this a look as well. That sounds awesome.
It's a fantastic game, and it's really one of my favorite NES games, and that's saying something, because I mean I've
Yeah.
got some doozies in there. So I mean it makes my probably top 10. It's really
Sweet.
fun. It's super fun game.
Awesome. All right, and we got time, I think, for one more. So Zach Z, try to convince us of something to play.
Alright, I got a game here. It's on the Game Boy. It's by Hudson Soft. And it's published by Nintendo. Wario Blast.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's Bomberman with Wario.
That could be fun.
Yeah, in fact the title is actually Wario Blast featuring Bomberman. But yeah, like I said, it's Bomberman.
Who doesn't love Bomberman?
Is it more like the first Bomberman or like Super Bomberman with more power ups or more
Um,
is more of that style?
as walls are blown up to find power-ups, so which increase the power of the explosions. So
But it's, like if you play Super Bomberman, there's a lot more power ups than there are in the first Bomberman. The first one it's just the length of the bomb,
yeah,
and
just
I
the
think that
length
may
or
be it.
the number of bombs you can set.
Okay, there's more bombs you can set. So I mean that's cool. That's Bomberman's a blast. Especially
No pun
the
intended.
Game Boy kind of hinders that. Look at that pun. I didn't even mean to do that, but that's punny.
Right.
Does the Wario Blast, does it have the Game Link support so you can play multiplayer?
Um, it does, and if I'm reading the Wikipedia page correctly, it sounds like you can actually play multiplayer through the Super Nintendo.
Oh, really?
Oh wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just reading it for connectivity and where it says the game was enhanced for play on the SNES or the Super Game Boy device.
Hmm.
The enhanced game offered a special Wario and Bomberman frame around the TV screen, color graphics, and custom explosion sounds in a multiplayer mode which allows for simultaneous gameplay between opponents.
Wow.
And who wouldn't want to take the chance to blow up Wario? Because he's kind of a jerk. Let's be honest here.
So yeah,
Better yet, I mean,
I might have to try.
doesn't want the chance to blow up their buddy?
Right? Interesting
What did you say,
choice.
Zach?
Huh?
I interrupted you a second ago.
No?
Oh, okay.
I think you're just saying
apologies.
that maybe it sounds like a good multiplayer game. Also sounds like it's a good single player game, but it's a Game Boy game. So is the price right for that?
It's about $7.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear.
But yeah, it turns out that that game is actually a reskin of Bomberman Game Boy for Japan. The one that we got that's called Bomberman Game Boy is actually the sequel to that.
A little fun fact there for us. Interesting. Cool.
So, yeah, it's just thinking something that would be interesting, and that game popped up.
Yeah. Well, very nice. All of the game, well, both of the games that you guys selected. I don't know about the one I did. I'm actually very interested in. I mean, I love Bomberman. I mean, that's just classic gameplay right there. And you know, Tank Top Boomerang Man. I mean, that just sounds like a good old fashioned nostalgic, fever dream.
That actually is the subtitle. If in Australia it's called Tank Top Boomerang Man. That's the alternate title for Power Blade.
How did I guess that? I'm just
Tank
that
Top
good.
Boomerang Man, mate.
That's crazy. You're so crazy. But as crazy as it is, I think it's getting to be around that time. I've so enjoyed this time together, and I've enjoyed my drink as well, but it's empty, so I got to make a refill. That being said, Turf, where can you listen to this episode in the future?
Well, you can always find us on ourparentsbasement.com. You can find us on YouTube. Just search for Our Parents Basement. We're there. Check us out on the Facebook page. There'll be links to YouTube or our website, ourparentsbasement.com. Interact with us on Twitter, OPB Podcast at OPB Podcast on Twitter, Facebook.com/OPB Podcast. Send me an email at opbpodcast@gmail.com. And I tell you what, since we're winding this thing down, if you've made it this far, if you will like, comment, and subscribe to this video, I'm going to give you a free game. If you've got let's say Steam, I've got Steam games to give away. So if you shoot me or like, comment, subscribe to this, we'll put you in a random drawing out of a hat or something to give you a game. So there we go. If you made it this far, you're going to get a free game because probably only one of you will do it.
It's all about humble beginnings. Well, yes. like Turf said, a free game. You can't go wrong with that. So,
Yeah, we're not going to make a go through all our episodes to figure out some sort of quiz.
right. So, everyone, this was lots of fun. Mr. Nikon, when you watch this, know that you were missed, and you'll be back next week, and so will we. So, that being said, I think it's time we say goodnight, and see you next time.
Peace.
Later.